the shark deck.
Kevin Hart's in a wheelchair. Oh no. And hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Kevin Hart went on Instagram and said, 44 and sitting my ass down. I gotta be the dumbest man alive. What the F am I doing? So you're curious, what did he do? He challenged former NFL running back Stephen Ridley to a 40-yard dash. Guess who didn't win? Kevin Hart said, I blew my crap. I'm done. FML. I'm in a wheelchair. Why? Well, because I tried to jump out there and do some young stuff. The debate was based off who's faster. Those that know me, I'm pretty fast. Steven said, Kevin, ain't no way you're going to beat me. Kevin gave us all a warning to all my men and women out there that are 40 years old and above. It's not a game. Respect that age. Respect that age, or that age will make you respect it. I was just forced to respect it. This is just a public service announcement because I know people may see me out, and I don't want you to be alarmed, but I'm in a wheelchair. I don't know what I tore. He then explained that what he's dealing with is a torn lower abdomen and tears to his hip abductors. He said, I don't know what that is, but I tore them. I tore those too. I can't walk. Ridley commented back and said, I saw Tom Brady do it at your age, so I figured you had the joist too, big bro. My bad. Kevin Hart, heal up and keep making us all laugh. Pete Holmes, not happy with the celebrity family feud. So the Holmes family is up and they're playing a different family. Top whatever answers on the board. Tell me a scent you'd be shocked to see as an air freshener. Bing. The other family goes, microwave fish. They flip the board. Food/broccoli appeared on the board as the number one answer. Gave the other family 29 points. Pete Holmes jumps in and goes, hold on. So any food? Any food gets the answer? That's nonsense. I say buttercream, food, fish. He addressed Steve Harvey. Steve, I feel you with me on this. Pete started making guttural noises, implying Family Feud would have accepted anything at all. Why not any sound gets the number one answer? Just go, number one answer. Rick and Morty almost back, baby. This will be the new Rick and Morty following the exit of co-creator Justin Roiland. We'll have a new voice of both Rick and Morty. Hopefully this goes a little better than Solar Opposites. Have you been watching Solar Opposites? Here's the problem with Solar Opposites and New Corvo. It's not even the voice. It's they started writing Corvo differently. Corvo used to do these slow burns and he would do them in threes. It's kind of like the Rick slow burn. You know, something along the lines of, I'm recording a podcast. It's a podcast and I'm recording it because that's what you do. You record a podcast, like that kind of thing. And New Corvo with the British voice isn't doing that. So I like Solar Opposites a lot. The new season, really struggling, guys. So hopefully they nail new Rick and new Morty. It'll be back Sunday, October 15th at 11 p.m. The president of Adult Swim says it's happening. Thanks to the talents of the entire show team, we can all enjoy 10 new episodes that yet again raise the bar for comedy and animation. An official Season 7 description makes a reference to the recastings. Quote, Rick and Morty are back and sounding more like themselves than ever. It's Season 7 and the possibilities are endless. What's up with Jerry? Evil summer? And will they ever get back to the high school? Maybe not, but let's find out. There's probably less urine than last season. Rick and Morty, 100 years, or at least until Season 10. Couple stray thoughts from me. I was watching the Republican debates last week, and I was watching Vivek Ramaswamy, and I was thinking, if there were no writer strike and you were doing Saturday Night Live, you would have to include Vivek. And then that made me wonder, well, who would play the character? You may remember they had at one point Fred Armisen doing Obama, and that wasn't the best idea. So I'm not sure there's somebody on the current cast who would make a good Vivek Ramaswamy. So then do you have to call in a favor? Or by the time the writer strike is back, none of this will matter because it sounds like the strike's going to go on for a while. We won't have SNL for a while. Did you also see in the news Carlos Santana made some transphobic remarks? The reason I'm bringing this up is Santana held his hands together as he made the remarks and said, I am like this with my brother Dave Chappelle. And I've talked about this in the past about Chappelle doing transgender material. And I have asked Dave out loud, Dave, is this what you want your legacy to be? Do you want to be the trans guy, anti-trans guy? Like every time the topic comes up, everybody goes Dave Chappelle. Dave, is that who you want to be? Or maybe do something else and don't do trans jokes in your 4th Street special? Sasheer Zamata's new special out on YouTube today. It is called The First Woman. Sasheer says, I'm excited to release it on YouTube and give it to the people directly because I have control over it. I have ownership over it, which is not what I've had in the past. Boy, we're hearing more and more comedians say that, right? Everybody's self-releasing now. It sounds like after that initial Netflix bonanza where the Chris Rocks and Amy Schumers were getting a lot of money, sounds like the second and third wave of that, nobody was really getting paid and nobody owns everything. So everyone's self-releasing now. Very interesting. Sasheer said, I'm very proud of my last special, but this is the first special I've self-produced, and I'm just excited to be in a place where I know what's happening and have control over my material and artistry. And yes, I can give it directly to people on YouTube. More stand-ups are doing that now, and I think people are looking to YouTube as a place where you can see comedy, which is great. So many options now. There's so many streamers and networks that have comedy specials, but sometimes they get lost in the shuffle. So I think when you make it specific and you're like, come see my stuff on this channel on YouTube, it could be easier for people. Andy Kaufman did not show up for the debut of his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I was hoping he would show up and be like, psych, that would have been the greatest hoax ever. Maybe Andy Kaufman is dead, or he's holding out for an even better opportunity. His Taxi castmate, Mary Lou Henner, was there, as was Kevin Nealon. I didn't realize they were friends. Kevin Nealon said he was a comedian, performance artist, prankster, trickster, and a song and dance man. I considered him a comedic genius. He was incredibly inventive. He was brave and darling. Other people might call it annoying and mentally ill, but no. Mary Lou Henner said, Andy was a provocateur. He irritated people. You never knew what was going to come out of his mouth or what idea he had, but he was always so damn interesting, and I adored him. I wonder if Tony Clifton came by. That would have been interesting. Kristen Schaal was there as well. She was a past recipient of the Andy Kaufman Award, which is an honor created by the Kaufman family, and that's how I met Kristen like 20 years ago now. From Deadline, the cost of British comedy is getting more and more expensive. BBC Studios comedy boss Josh Cole said, the rush to make comedies infused with straight drama had impacted the ability for producers to land broader comedies. Cole said, comedy's guilty of taking itself a bit too seriously in the past few years, and the first rule of comedy is make people laugh. Audiences love that, but there's been a move away from it, and it would be great to see more of it. ITV's head of comedy, Nana Hughes, said, the way we consume comedy is evolving. The way young people are looking at and discovering comedy, the tone is less cynical, but it's very hard to be funny. We have to be less offensive and very sensitive to everyone. So that stifles comedy. It's finding the right place to land jokes without being scared. And that always comes back to risk. Do we lose the audience if we go hard like Ricky Gervais? Nicole Byer spoke to the Las Vegas Weekly. She recently took up pole dancing, but don't expect her to be any good at it. Nicole said, I think we need to normalize being mediocre or bad at our hobbies. I can climb up a pole. I'm very strong and it's cool. I don't want to be sexy. I just want to scare people. She was in Las Vegas and said, I did a whirlwind of a trip with my friend. We went to Usher, Chris Angel Mindfreak, Cirque du Soleil, and Magic Mike. I drove a Ferrari at some racetrack. We did go-karts. That's how I like to do it. I don't gamble. I don't understand it. Last time I gambled, I was absolutely faced with my friend's sister, and I was sitting at one of the slots, and I was banging a button like, this is how they get you. They get you by sitting here. You just push the same button. Then a man walked by and said, you have to put money in it. And that is your comedy news for today. Thank you, DraftKings, for sponsoring today's show. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. See you tomorrow.